This is Europe. But not the Europe you know. This is Albania, a country where the average monthly salary is around $500. And yet, the price of an apartment in the capital, Tirana, is the same as in Barcelona or Rome, a place where 40% of the population lives outside the country, forced to leave just to survive. It's a nation of beautiful beaches, stunning mountains, and one of the most isolated, misunderstood economies in Europe. On the surface, Albania looks like a hidden Mediterranean paradise. But for the people who live here, life is anything but easy. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden struggles of Albania, a country where the scars of dictatorship, corruption, and mass emigration have created one of the most challenging places to live in Europe. To understand why life is so hard in Albania, you need to understand its history. For most of the 20th century, Albania was the most isolated country in Europe. From 1946 to 1992, it was ruled by Enver Hoxha, a brutal dictator who turned Albania into a communist fortress, cutting it off from both the West and even the Soviet Union and China. Under Hoxha, the country became a paranoid police state. Thousands of bunkers were built, so many that even today, Albanians joke they have more bunkers than houses. No private property, no freedom of speech, no religion. Even listening to foreign music could land you in prison. When communism finally collapsed in 1992, Albania was left crippled, isolated, and decades behind the rest of Europe. And the effects of that are still felt today. Perhaps the biggest symptom of Albania's problems is the fact that Albanians are leaving in record numbers. Since the 1990s, nearly 40% of Albanians have left the country. That's one of the highest emigration rates in the world. For young people, it's almost an expectation. If you want a decent life, you leave. Most head to Italy, Greece, Germany, or the UK. Entire villages in Albania today are almost empty, with only the elderly left behind. This is a country losing its future generation, not to war, not to disease, but to poverty, low wages, and hopelessness. And it creates a vicious cycle. The more people leave, the less the country develops. The less it develops, the more people leave. Let's talk about the math, because this is where things get insane. The average monthly wage in Albania is just $500. Some earn less. A waiter might make $300 to $350. A teacher, maybe $450. But the cost of living? A basic apartment in Tirana costs $150,000 or more. That's the same as Spain, Portugal, or Italy. How is this possible? The answer is foreign money. Albanians working abroad send money home. And wealthy investors, especially from the Albanian diaspora, drive property prices through the roof. For locals, it's an impossible trap. Rent takes up half their income, or more. Buying a home? Forget it. Owning a car is also a luxury. Gas prices are higher than in the U.S., despite incomes being 8 to 10 times lower. There's another shadow looming over Albania: organized crime. Albania has become a key hub for drug trafficking, money laundering, and smuggling in Europe. The so-called Albanian mafia is not just a myth. It's a real, powerful network that extends into Italy, the UK, Germany, and beyond. Billions of euros flow through illegal operations, and much of that dirty money ends up in real estate. It's one reason property prices are completely detached from local incomes. Entire neighborhoods are built with laundered money. And because of this, construction booms, but locals still can't afford to live there. Meanwhile, the government struggles, or pretends to struggle, to control it. And ordinary Albanians pay the price. Their country becomes a playground for criminals, while they fight for survival. If you think the economy is bad, wait until you meet corruption. Albania ranks as one of the most corrupt countries in Europe. Everything has a price. Hospital appointments, pay under the table, building permits, Bribes, university exams, sometimes also bribes. Organized crime has deep roots here. Money laundering, drug trafficking, and construction scams are part of everyday reality. The government is often accused of turning a blind eye or being directly involved. This corruption acts as an invisible tax on everyday Albanians. It makes everything harder, slower, more expensive. Albania's public services are barely functioning. The healthcare system is underfunded, understaffed, and outdated. If you get seriously ill, you leave the country for treatment. If you can't afford that, you pray. The education system is no better. Schools are overcrowded. Teachers are underpaid. Many families send their children abroad as soon as they can. Outside of Tirana, infrastructure looks like something out of the 1970s. Potholes, unreliable electricity, water shortages are daily problems. If Tirana feels difficult, the countryside feels abandoned. In rural Albania, it's common to find villages with no jobs, no health care, no schools, and no young people left. Many families survive through subsistence farming or remittances from relatives abroad. In some areas, it feels like time stopped 50 years ago. Unpaved roads, homes heated with wood stoves, people fetching water from wells. Tourists see the stunning mountains, beaches, and charming villages. But behind the Instagram photos is a very different reality. You might think Albania, with its rivers and mountains, would be energy-rich, but the reality is another struggle. Albania relies heavily on hydropower, which means when there's drought, there's no electricity. Rolling blackouts are still a regular part of life in many areas. In rural regions, many homes rely on wood-burning stoves, leading to severe air pollution during winter. Water shortages are another hidden crisis. Aging infrastructure means pipes leak, and clean water doesn't always reach homes. Add to that the growing issue of illegal dumping, plastic waste, and poorly managed tourism, and Albania faces an environmental crisis on top of its economic one. It's a vicious cycle. Weak institutions, poor infrastructure, environmental damage, poorer quality of life. The big question is, can Albania change? There is progress. Tirana is booming, at least visually. Skyscrapers, fancy cafes, and nightlife give the illusion of prosperity. The country is trying to join the European Union. Tourism is growing fast. Some sectors, like IT and energy, show promise. But without real reforms, without tackling corruption, and without slowing the brain drain, Albania risks becoming a hollow country, a place where the wealthy invest, tourists visit, but locals simply leave. From the outside, Albania looks like a Mediterranean paradise, blue seas, white mountains, vibrant cafes. But for the people who live here, life is a daily battle against low wages, high costs, broken systems, and the constant temptation to leave. It's a country caught between two worlds, too rich to be poor, but too poor to feel rich. A nation haunted by its past and uncertain about its future. If this story surprised you, if it showed you a side of Europe you didn't know existed, consider subscribing, because we dive into the hidden stories behind the headlines, from the silent struggles of modern Albania to the forbidden cities of Russia, and the invisible battles shaping our world. Subscribe, and thanks for watching.